Good afternoon. My name is Tim Coley. I am Washington born and raised. I grew up in Eastern Washington and moved over to the west side here. I've been in Tumwater since 2009, just outside of Olympia. I live here with my husband Jason and my cat Henry. And I started to fill the house with so many books I had to build this shed. So that's where I'm recording for you now. I'm thrilled to be given the chance to be considered for at whatever level as possibly starting up the conversation with Fran when she comes to our Washington Center. Briefly about me, I went to Washington State University, graduated with a degree in English and a minor in history, and decided that I would serve in the Washington State Patrol as a trooper for my career. I was ready to go to work, so I did that for 25 years. I just retired back in October and turned 48 as well, so I'm using all my pension and other things to buy more books. Along the way there, I went and got my law degree from the Gonzaga University School of Law back in 2008, but I don't practice law, never took the bar, just wanted to learn some different things. I started service with the Washington Center for the Performing Arts on their board right before the pandemic, and I've served since then. I'm currently the chair of the board of the Washington Center Directors, which I've served in for the past year, and I have long been advocating for Fran to be considered, or for us to look and see if our schedules could align and get her out to Olympia. So I'm very excited for this opportunity for the community. I was first keyed into Fran probably most deeply during the pandemic when Pretend It's a City came out on Netflix. That sent me down a rabbit hole. I have probably watched the episode on books in particular 3 or 4 times, and I love the other parts too, but that's definitely my main wheelhouse. I have been to several author events, both at Seattle Arts and Lectures, and every year I go to the Portland Book Festival and spend the whole day down there, and so I'm familiar with somewhat of the format, and I know that this is a little different than the classic In Conversation With. Obviously the audience is there to see Fran and will not know who I am or care who I am really, and that's the intent, but I think it's a warm-up, this first 30-minute section, for the audience and for everyone else to kind of get the feel of the room and then see where, the questions and the topics, and who knows what will be most relevant by springtime. But I would say personally, I'd love to talk with Fran, if not on stage, via questions, about literature, what she sees the role of authors today, given over time. I'd really love to hear from her about her friendship with Toni Morrison, who is someone who I admire but also scares me to death. And I think sensing that those two had a much more vibrant and rich friendship, I'd love to hear her talk about that. And talk about some generational issues. I feel I'm sort of right in between people who grew up without cell phones and then came to get them, and the internet really emerged when I was, starting off in college, late in high school. And so I'm sort of in between those generations. And I think Fran has a lot to say about how we all fit together and what's good in our culture and where we've really changed or maybe departed. So I think it's going to be a wonderful night. If there's any other information I could provide, I think I stay pretty well read, up to date on things, and so I would welcome the opportunity to have a conversation or be part of the conversation. Thanks for the time and the opportunity. It's really exciting.